my name is Matt Skellenger. Welcome to onlinemusiclab.com. This lesson we're going to look at how to find the same note on a different string. The bass is a really versatile instrument because we can play the same note in multiple places on the bass, and there's a specific pattern to always keep in mind when you're trying to find the same note. And it works both ways. For example, if you're trying to find, if you're playing a note on your highest string, on your G string, and you want to find that note on your D string, there's a very specific pattern to follow to get that note on D. The concept is going to be the same if we're thinking about a note on our A string and wanting to find that same note on the D string or a string higher. So there's a number that you want to remember, and that number is 5. 5 frets away is always going to be the same note, but when we are going up the strings, we're actually going to go 5 frets backwards or 5 frets down the neck. And meaning backwards or down, and I'm thinking about the numbers. The fret numbers, if we start with our open string, open is 0. First fret, or fret farthest from our body, is 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So for example, if I start on the 7th fret of my D string, which is the 3rd dot, if I want to find that same note, which is the note A, if I want to find that on my G string, I go up a string, go up to the G string, and count down 5 frets. So 1, and don't count the fret you're on, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 2nd fret of the G string is the same note as the 7th fret of my A string. So, another way of thinking about it too is 7th fret and 2nd fret. 7 minus 2 is 5, so we moved the distance of 5 frets to get that same note. Okay, let's go back to the 7th fret of D. If I want to find that note on my A string, or on the string below it, even though it's higher from the ground, in sound it sounds lower. The notes down here are lower, so I'm going to still count 5, but now I'm going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to go closer to my body. So I'm on 7 on the D string. I drop down to the A string and count 5 frets up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 12th fret of the A string is the same note as the 7th fret of the D string, and that's the same note as the 2nd fret of the G string. So I said earlier that this note is A. Here are 3 places to play that same A. So this is 12th fret of A, 7th fret of D, 2nd fret of G, all separated by the distance of 5 frets. That magic number when we're trying to find the same note is always going to be 5. You could even say, if you wanted to even continue it more and find this A on your E string, even though sometimes it's hard to play up in this register and you don't hear a lot of bass playing, especially on your low strings up in this register. I'm on 12 on A, I go down to E, and I count up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 17 on E is the same as 12 on A, is the same as 7 on D, is the same as 2 on G. And always remember again, too, that you don't want to count the fret that you're on, because if you're on 12 and you want to find that note on the D string, 12 minus 5 is going to give you 7. So 12 minus 5 gets me to that 7th fret.